I had a pretty good sleep. I probably slept for 6 hours at least. Today we're sailing downwind, so it means we're going to have a good run. We're very lucky, the conditions are perfect. The skipper says we're super lucky because last week when he did a sailing course, he said there was no wind at all. So we're just going past Koh Lan and all the morning boats, all the speedboats from Pattaya crossing with all the people heading to Koh Lan for the morning. It's cool to watch. It's like Normandy out here. There's just a steady stream of boats. So we're sailing downwind, which means it's quite choppy, but we're keeping a good pace. I think we're about 6 knots. We've got the head sail out, the headsail. I don't know. I don't know anything about sailing, so I'm not going to try and use the jargon. Headsail and mainsail, and the fucking sails are up. And we're level with Pratamnak, heading south. The sun's just hitting Koh Lan and the green is popping. I'm not sure if it'll come out in the camera, but those little boathouses juxtaposed, you know, against the green, and it's quite a pretty sight. Anyway, back to the helm. All right, we're at the 5-hour mark. We've been going since we left this morning. We've passed Pattaya, and we're just level with Bang Sarai now. So behind me is Krung Yai or Koh Krung, which is an uninhabited island. You can stop there if you have a boat. I understand there's a nature reserve. How good is the billowing sails behind me? In about 15 minutes, we should be going past Saikau Beach, where all those crazy monkeys are. And then we're going to hook a left and head on down to Rayong Way toward Utapao Airport. And our final resting place for the day will be Sattahip, tucked in a cove. So 5 hours of passage, doing about 5 knots. It's a slow but peaceful trip. A bit of swell without the rumble of the engines and that vibration that you inevitably feel on a boat if the engine's running. It is such a smoother, more peaceful way to travel, hey. Saikau Beach is actually within Sattahip Naval Area. So if you want to visit Saikau Beach, you have to leave your ID at the gates and pay a 100 baht entry fee. You know what, I'll throw in a little bit of footage now of last time I visited Saikau, and check out these monkeys attacking the cars. To be honest, a lot of this sailing is just this. It's quiet, it's time to yourself. The conversation, it ebbs and flows. The three of us will have a chat and then we'll sort of go back into our own zones, and then it's very meditative, I want to say. How do I explain today? 8 hours on the water and I'm feeling like I've had excess exposure. So much sun. He's close. Sadikap. Fishing boat. Speaking of fishing boats, we have made it to Sattahip. This is a fishing village called Samesan. And as we've come around, it's just all green mountains. So it's very much on a peninsula. Anyway, it has been a fun day, a day of learning. I haven't shown much, I've just skipped through it, but my gosh, I couldn't do much more of this. The level of exposure from the sun, because the sun's, it's coming from this direction, but it's also bouncing off the water. So it's sort of, I'm getting sunburnt like under as well as from over. So to be completely honest, I don't know if sailing's for me. Well, at least not mono hulls. Maybe a catamaran's a bit different because you have that sort of enclosed saloon in the middle that you can shield from the rain, or in this case, the sun and the heat. I can deal with the heat, but it's just that burny sun, the UV. I've applied sunscreen like 50 times today and I'm just sweating it off. I will do a tour of this boat and I'll show you the cabins downstairs. Now there's fans in each cabin. They're very comfortable, but no aircon. And the heat, it really like collects downstairs, even though we've got some of the hatches open. Long story short, I feel like a little bit of a prisoner, and it's making me like really question all those YouTube channels that I binge watched during COVID, like Parlay Revival and Sailing La Vagabond, all those. And it makes me wonder like how exhausting it must have been for them to do this day in, day out. I'm only doing this for 4 days. When we pull up at the beach, I am dying to get off, all right? Captain, why are we under motor? Why aren't we sailing?
We don't have any wind anymore.
Look, that's why it's so glassy, but it is beautiful and it's comfortable and it's smooth. Tomorrow we'll be up early, leaving at the crack of dawn, heading to the infamous Koh Samet down there. I'm super excited about that.
I reverse, I lay out the chain, and then you will feel a bounce back. So to plug the anchor in. So we do that 2-3 times. So I reverse, and you need to show me with your hand when the chain goes up. And when the bounce is here, and then you can say stop and we bounce back. That's for you. And you drop it, and you just count these red marks. I hope they are still visible. Point when he has his 5 times to get out. So we take this snubber line, we attach it there, and just put it on the creek. That's exactly.
Hey.
So you know how to make a bow line? Yes. Okay. I had a student.
Yeah.
He, as many do, there wasn't a lot of tension on the rope, but it could. So he made like this, and I shouted him, "Watch out your fingers!" And he was so like, "Whoa!" He never did it.
Never did do it again.
Never did it again. So don't be.
It's a teaching tactic you've learned over time.
I'm not mad at all when I'm sometimes a little bit like whoa or something like this. But I realize the people, it gets more into the brain when they say, "Cool shit, he's angry now."
Safely anchored up here in Sattahip, about 500 meters off the beach. I think we're going to jump in the dinghy and go over there. I really need a new SD card for the drone. We'll leave it there for today. Don't miss the next one. That sunset goes alright, eh? Yeah. That's 60 seconds in it. I'd come up and have a look, bro. Check that out. Someone has put on a show for us. Wow. What a nice way to finish the video.